Hello, welcome back to Major 4, live from Dallas. We are back to LAN, and well, Joe and I are finally ready to get involved. Joe, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. Obviously, you see a look here, Dallas Empire getting ready in their practice room. Toronto Ultra, their first match. What a comeback they've had with the start of Stage 4, right? They lose that first match, and then, well, since that point, they have not dropped a map. And Dallas, man, they look good yesterday. It feels like things finally starting to click with this new roster.
Yeah, we'll talk about that more, but I think just in general, we thought, based on how they were last year at the end of the year, that eventually it was going to click. They'd be a very fundamentally sound team, and they'd be a hard team to beat. Maybe they're getting there, but it's probably too early to say that. But I don't know. I guess I've been waiting for it. Maybe it's time, Joe, but I'm sure you want to see more.
Yeah, I think, yeah, 100%. Obviously, you can have, good series individually. We always talk about that, how talented our league is. And, yesterday you had Shotzzy and Vivid really pop off. Maybe it was a slow day for OpTic. Maybe it wasn't. What we're looking for is consistency. How will they compete with Toronto Ultra from top to bottom? Toronto Ultra, they're such a good, just overall team. That's really it. Obviously, their 2, 3, and 5 is so darn good. Their hardpoint is one of the best as well. And one of their star players has been Insight. And since he was added to this lineup, you can just see the immediate impact that he has had. 3rd overall in hardpoint, 1st in search and destroy, top 11 in control. The main AR for this team locks it down, and he's one of the reasons that they're a top 3 team in this league.
100%. And I think for a lot of fans, when they were doing their pick'ems, you had to do them before the match yesterday for Empire. You would have looked at the last time these two teams played, and it was pretty one-sided, right? But I think for those at home now, you're thinking this is a different Empire team. And I think for Ultra, you better view it that way as well. Because, well, Joe, have you been in that spot where you smoke a team 3-0, you play them a couple weeks later, you're probably thinking we're going to smoke them again.
Yeah, I just think it's more of like maybe a confidence thing. Maybe that might not be there yet for Dallas Empire. I think yesterday was a good win, but I think they know they have a lot of work to do for Ultra.
Yeah.
I think they're just realistic in the fact that they knew it was a newer lineup. And yeah, it is going to be different. They watched that match yesterday. They saw what Vivid and Shotzzy were able to do on that map. Even iLLeY really stepped it up. So they know this is a bit of a different team that they faced a few weeks ago.
100%. I can't wait to get into it. I first saw it, I was thinking 3-0, but now I'm hoping we have a Game 5 battle on our hands. But let's meet our teams. We're going to kick it off with Toronto Ultra.
Try to get mad, everybody wanna keep up, don't you know I move too fast, I'ma zip right past, drip all on my swag, why you trying to size me up, you don't wanna try your luck, how does it stove, what did you know, burn like coal, yeah you know I go, way too hot, yeah I really too cold, I'ma keep going till I hit my goals, better get back when I'm in my zone, do it for the ones that I know back home, did it myself, they ain't put me on, but you call back if you hear that tone, love the level.
Toronto Ultra getting ready to rock. It has been a while since they have lost a map. Benjamin Bance, maybe the greatest European Call of Duty player of all time. By the time it's all said and done, he will more than likely be the Prime Minister.
Maybe. I mean, maybe that's his life goal, but there's a look at the roster. Yeah, Bance, Cammy, Insight, and Cleanex getting to their spots now. Coach Marky B. And I'm sure these guys are pumped up, but I think for some people, there's just a question mark. Like, can these guys keep it up? You're on LAN now. It's a different environment. It's a different beast. And it's one of the teams I think a lot of people are waiting to see how they perform.
Well, yeah, I mean, they had the Delphi sponsor. Man, they became kind of a meme at some point when they won that first event last year. And yeah, you have some players. I mean, Insight, not Insight, sorry, Cleanex, we first saw, at Champs last year. So he has some LAN experience. But obviously a very new player. Hasn't played on LAN much. But I don't know. Standy seemed fine yesterday, Joe.
No, I mean, I'm not too worried about it. What these guys have consistently done, these last couple of stages, they've been top 3. They won a major. They are the real deal. There's no doubt in my mind.
Absolutely. And on the other side of this, they're going to be facing off against a new-look Dallas Empire. There's been a new look for them a couple times recently, but the improvements finally seem to be coming through. Rambo Ray, confident that the fundamentals in team play are getting there. Let's meet the team. Dallas Empire.
Dallas Empire have smashed the gates open.
Stella with the round 1 ace.
Clayster shot punch. Oh no! Once again, they saved the day.
Joe, it kind of feels like everything's right in the world right now. Crimsix is back to trolling various fan bases. He's back to being Crim. I'm loving it. He's great.
No, he is absolutely hilarious. But here's a look. Yeah, Vivid, Shotzzy, iLLeY, and Crim. And Coach Rambo, it's a beautiful swing right there. It's about 270 right down the fairway. Just fundamentally great out of Coach Ray.
Yeah, no, I've played golf with him many times. He's actually incredible. It's annoying how good he is at a lot of things. He's a very good bowler. He's a very good golfer. He was a professional Call of Duty player. All of those things are hand tortures. I don't know how he did them all, but now I'm sure he's killing it in the coaching role. But Empire, a big test today against Ultra, a top 3 team, since stage 2. They have not looked back. Joe, do you feel like this Empire team, I think this is going to be a fight?
You're really sold on it. I still just have to see a little bit more.
I don't know.
I think the big thing for them is the more and more we have watched them, Vivid has gotten more comfortable. And I think early on in stage 4, that was a big piece that was missing. It just felt like you had all the role switching going on with iLLeY. You still have Shotzzy, who was playing a high level, but he needed a little bit of help, and Vivid has finally hit that.
Let's get to our game fuel keys to victory. We'll kick it off with Dallas Empire. Joe, what do you think?
Well, I think Shotzzy and Vivid, they have to keep playing like they did versus OpTic. You know, it's going to be a back and forth battle, but they need to stay consistent, because when they played earlier in this stage, it was minus 42 from that duo. It was not good. Not good at all. Stay strong and search and destroy. Ultra is one of the best teams. Their control hasn't been great, Dallas Empire. So if you're going to extend that series, if you're maybe going to win a game 5, you have to stay strong and search. And they got a good couple of maps, so we'll get to that. And then iLLeY. I think iLLeY is one of those players that has been under the microscope a little bit. And what we saw against a very tough AR matchup yesterday versus Formal and Dashy, he stepped up big time for Dallas Empire. I want to see him stay consistent.
100%. And yeah, the team play was on point. And maybe that's why I was a little convinced. Just Ray said the fundamentals are getting there. They're playing together. And it seemed like something was struggling before this. We'll see. On the other side, though, game fuel keys to victory. Take me through Toronto Ultra.
I mean, if you're Toronto, just eyes on what you have been doing. Stick to your system. You were 12-0 in map count since that Game 5 loss. That's really it for me. Stick to your fundamentals. Be prepared for a different Empire this time around, though. Last time they played, it was a 3-0. They outslayed them by 43, and we kind of touched on it. This is a different Empire that we saw yesterday. And then for me, Bance needs to lead by example. When we saw them win Major 2, it was Bance. This is a guy that is leading them in hardpoint and is second in control in those respawns throughout this stage. And he's a guy with that LAN experience. He is their vet. So I want to see Bance have a big matchup here.
100%. I mean, I just feel like when he started to turn it around, and yes, Insight joined the squad too. When Vance really started to get confident and play better, this team looked totally different. They've been monsters on the map, and I can't wait to see how this goes down. I'm excited to talk through the maps and modes, especially, you talked about the search. Let's kind of go through this, because when I first saw it and I saw the searches, I was like, well, those are like kind of the 50-50 ones with regards to Ultra, who are a good search team, and that, they've won as much as they've lost. You got to take me through how we got here.
Yeah, I think the big thing is for Dallas is they get rid of Raid. That is kind of Toronto Ultra playground. And then for Ultra, with the introduction of Standoff, right, they've seen the way Empire has played it. Maybe they're not that comfortable with it. So what happens is Dallas Empire picks Miami, a very strong search map for them. And then Moscow Search and Destroy for Ultra, which is around, I think, 6 and 5 on the year, right around that 50-50 mark. The one search map that was not picked was Express. The reason is because Dallas is a very good Express team. In Ultra, leave that open because I think they're 7-1 on it. And they say if Dallas wants to play us on it, we'll take it from them. But we won't see that in here. But we're starting off with Checkmate Hardpoint, 7-6 for Empire, 9-6 for Ultra. Ultra have really turned it around on this map. It has become one of their strengths in Hardpoint.
Well, no, good breakdown, because I thought some people, you might see their 7-1 on Express. Like, why didn't they pick it? Well, that is why. So you saw 5 maps we're going to be going through. Major 4, Empire, Ultra, and we're going to find out if Empire is improved as some might hope they are. Here they are. And if Ultra are able to lose a map, because I don't know, they have it in a month.
Yeah, they haven't in a long time, and that is the thing. If it happens, right, you have to bounce back from that. And they were a team at times they were losing like a hard point, but then there was just like 2, 3, 4. When they got to their hard point map, they were just ripping 3 off in a row and sending everybody home.
Yeah, that is true. Well, iLLeY, I mean, eyes on him for sure, because you and I cast a lot of their games, and he was inconsistent, or when he was consistent, it wasn't in a positive manner. Yesterday, he was great. If they get that same iLLeY, it's a different team.
No, it is. It's just the firepower that this team has, and it was a clear weakness, you know, at the flex role. When you look at your top teams, your Cammys, your Celliums, your Dashies, the guys playing that second AR, they were the superstars, and you just kind of didn't have that on the Dallas Empire side. iLLeY with a big step, I think, towards that yesterday. But here in this first hill, it's a nice job by Empire. Vivid, though, able to pick up a big kill on Bans, who was going for that rotation over the second hill.
Tom's on point, picking up the push through. They've got the early setup. They already are pushing out through plane, and we'll see if Cammy, who has been the mega super ultra star, can have a performance here, because he has been a beast. But who's been a beast so far on LAN that maybe we didn't expect? Vivid, 6-1 to start. He was electric yesterday. And I mean, to be fair, he came out flat, really flat to start with this Empire team, but finding his groove.
No, he really is. I mean, you have Shotzzy and Vivid right now. I mean, just look at the top left of your screen. The slaying right now for Dallas Empire. Crim's going to find that multi-kill. This is a beautiful first and second hill, the way you can chain those together. And on the other side, Bance yet to find a kill. Insight only one. But we know it's just going to take some time until those guys get comfortable on that stage.
Well, you mentioned how big Bance is going to be in the, you know, from LAN experience standpoint, he leads the way. It's tough when you're struggling. He is 0-6 right now, but he's got to find a way. I'm going to go to an Astro listening with Toronto Ultra.
Push out, truck and out. He's playing with you, Cam. He's close truck. I'm blocking. Really quick.
Yeah, under left.
Absolute. I don't see on the left.
I'm dying here.
On the left.
Nice, good shit.
I'm not blocking, by the way. He's stacked.
Yeah, I'm blocking.
Backstairs dead.
Nice, good shit. I'm on a shoot. Where are we spawning them?
He's spawned behind, man.
Okay, I'm running back.
One backstairs.
Push one behind.
No left. One more backstairs to me, Cam.
Yeah, I'm playing a kill. iLLeY backstairs dead. One more Crim. I'm one off for Cruise. Crim's under exit.
The left, Shotzzy weak.
Yeah, no, okay. One left. Back.
Shotzy's on the left.
Jump that.
Nice.
Keep it up.
I'm wrapping.
Yeah.
We got a streak, Cam.
Yeah, I've got an artillery.
Yeah, that's good.
Watch and shoot.
2 out, man. 2 out.
They're gonna be in there. One more, Cam. One
Nice.
more.
They're gonna go right. Shotzzy weak. ASD.
From 6. One more top yellow.
Yeah,
Last node. One node. Nice.
iLLeY and all
Nice.
that.
No fucking way. Let's fucking go now, boys.
I'm
Get off.
Yeah, I know. I'm on it. I'm playing back right.
They're gonna be in there.
Playing on the right wing. I don't really have a
Last block.
One more dead.
Nice.
Careful.
They're gonna be top plane. Might be top plane.
Gonna push out, Jamie.
A hard blocker.
I'll go.
Into
Top plane. Vivid.
I can help.
Push out, fuck, Jamie.
Could be under right or something. Under plane probably.
Plane, iLLeY dead.
Yeah,
nice,
push
good
me
shit.
backstairs.
He's close, Jamie. Nice, Jamie.
They spawn it.
Yeah, that's fun. Let's play for a flip. Trust me. Get across. Get across. Coming.
Drop the nade in
Oh,
here.
Shotzzy's top plane.
Stay up in. Just stay close.
Stay close.
I have an artillery here.
Yep. Top plane. One of them.
Yeah, top plane. I'm coming to help you, Ben.
I ran left.
Could I be time?
I don't see a guy on the left or anything.
He's top exit.
Hey, down.
Nice,
Alright,
good shot. Watch on the other side. Backstairs, Crim weak backstairs, and then Vivid on point.
Who's that?
Crim's backstairs on the stone. Nice,
We're
very close.
We're gonna look for shots.
Shotzzy too. It's really Shotzzy time.
Push that mid.
Well, Joe, I don't think that 0-6 start FaZe Bance whatsoever. He was leading the way in the comps. He's fired up.
No, he was. It was a big bounce back heel for Toronto Ultra at P3. You really saw Cammy get going. He was able to earn an artillery. Their guns got hot and they bounced back. But Dallas Empire, they were able to get that flip. They have this set up for P5. But who is it? It's Cammy. It's Bance right now, able to break through towards the front. Dallas Empire going to be quick on this rotation over towards Wood. Vivid able to find that kill, and Crim slides on out. But they're doing a really good job just putting continuous pressure and breaking this setup of Dallas Empire. Shotzzy finds a crate, able to rip Cammy.
Wait till we get back to Cammy. Just look at his photo at the bottom, that smirk. It just says, I know I'm disgusting. He was making plays there, but still work to do, as you said. We'll see if Empire can lock down these final 20 seconds. Quality shots from iLLeY. He tries to control plane. Cammy next up the bat. He's worried about a push from the wing side. He's just going to back out of this. Might be able to catch bans. Great stuff here from iLLeY, but he will finally get hunted down.
Well, and I think you've seen kind of what you saw if you're a fan of both of these teams. For Empire, was a hot start, but then they had to bounce back, right? They kind of dealt with Cammy getting hot, but they make the good play. They flip for P5. They lock it down. They still have a 60-point lead. For the Ultra side, it's, okay, we're not down by 100 points. You know, our stars started to wake up. It was maybe a little bit later than what they wanted. A big set of hills here as we go from P1 to P2 for Toronto Ultra. This is their chance to get back into the game.
Yeah, I feel like if you're Ultra and you're spawning on the weak side, a slow start, I mean, you're going to be down anyway. If you start to come alive later in the rotation, it's not the end of the world, but they're still down pretty big. Down around, what, 70 points right now. But Cleanex has gotten through. Unfortunately, he is very much by his lonesome, and they're starting to hunt him down. Empire knows something is afoot, but Cleanex able to pick up the kill. He's got a second one pushing him. Will get dropped. Empire will be able to get set up for second as Crim is just hit.
Well, I mean, that's less Cleanex gets through and more. He's the last one there. All of Dallas, they pushed through P1. They got a ton of time there. They got 30 more seconds. Then off of that, they're able to spawn Ultra out. That was the perfect rotation by Empire. We talked about fundamental Call of Duty. They did it right there. You talked about Crim on a 5 spree. Didn't have the best match yesterday. But he's staying calm. He gave a lot of props to his teammates. And, well, he goes down in Ultra. They get a flip behind the artillery. It makes Dallas uncomfortable. They get those set of kills, and this 30 seconds might put Ultra right back into the game. They have to deal with the subs.
Well, plays you just broke down is why it's kind of what Ray was saying. Like, they're playing fundamentally sound. Stuff like that can win you hard points. 60 points still needed. Shotzzy wins one. There's a whole legion of players here to deal with. The rest of his squad's going to be towards mid plane, getting set up for mid-map. Crim's got the cross, sitting at 23 and 16. Having himself a map, and it continues. Unfortunately, he needs more bullets. He only have 2.
Oh, he's got 40. It doesn't take too long, but we'll need 50 seconds now to secure map number 1. And this is Ultra's hardpoint map pick, so you got to be feeling pretty good. And, well, Ban slows down big time inside as well, 13 and 18. And we talked about, we saw his stats and the star that he has become. But down 100 points. To slowly work their way back into this one. Just feels like Empire, they're hitting and they're hitting hard.
Yeah, well, I mean, when at the beginning of the year, when they were making runs, their hardpoint was very good, and then it just disappeared. But obviously, with the core, the ability was there. We saw it. Maybe seeing a bit of it again now. Is Ultra are in trouble. Down over 100. Vivid, a different player so far this weekend. Cammy, he's leading the way. He's got the most kills in the lobby. Well, there with Crimsix, but just not enough. They are getting smoked. Impressive stuff from Empire.
No, it is. And you know, it's one of those things, too. Like, first map, Empire has had a match already. Try to make this close, and that's when you have to stick to, you know, some of your strengths. You know, you have that control in your back pocket, how good their search and destroy has been. But Ultra not out of this one yet. They get a set of kills. They bring it back. They're up to 140. They have P5 spawns if they can hold on to this. There's just still 30 seconds left. And Empire, no. They can almost put the game away here, but Insight and Cammy able to find a couple of kills.
You make a good point, though, because, yeah, hardpoint's not what has carried them. So, yeah, it's not the end of the world, but it is not over yet. Can they make a run? They've had some late-game rallies over the course of this year as Insight will take down 2. 10 seconds left in the hardpoint. Just chipping away at this lead. They've got that top left side of the map, but here comes the push in from Empire. Vivid trying to finesse, but nade spot on from Ultra. iLLeY, though, cleaning up the scraps. And now it's kind of a foot race. Like, it's like a 2-2 split here for Ultra. Everyone hitting from the front for Empire. It's not going to be a clean setup for either team.
And this is what Empire needs, because you get to 40, 50 seconds here, then that pressure starts to build a little bit and make this messy. But it looks like Vivid gets a back spawn. He's able to spawn all the way through. Nobody was blocking the spawns, but on the same side, he doesn't block the spawns. So guess what? Ultra is there, but who has it been? It's been the ARs. I think iLLeY has had multiple multi-kills. He does it again. Crim is well up to 32. And while they are just putting them in the dirt, it's Crimsix's time.
Yeah, it's double, triple. Your turn, iLLeY. Trips up next as he dies after the 5 spree. 4 seconds needed to close out this map 1 as our Major 4 host looks to continue this run. They've been trying to do it inside the plane, but Cammy doesn't want to go down without a fight. Another triple as the multi-kills keep on stacking up. You require a miracle now if you're Ultra. 75 points needed. Just 4 for Empire. They need 1 break. And here they come. Their 2 teammates drop, though. Shotzzy up next. Not able to do it. Ultra still surviving, Joe. And they've got the right side. Like, this is doable, but it's that conversation you always have. You have to focus on 2 points here. It's hard.
Yeah, you see Cammy kind of backing on up. Cleanx spawns next to him. Okay, that means spawns are secure. They're locking things down. Grim and Vivid, though, they're going to try and end it here. They're able to find, well, that's your teammate. That's your teammate. Vivid is going to get switched, but the spawns flip. He talked about how difficult it is, and
it's so hard.
His teammates die on the opposite side. He is very close to some streaks, though, but they only need 4 seconds. So it's almost like this is a push
These
to
kills,
break
these kills are
P2
huge.
right here for Ultra. We'll see what they can find. Crim, he's going to spawn out. Vivid, he's going to spawn out now. Shotzzy and iLLeY trying to hang on.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Hung on.
They get through. 1 guy there. They get through. Ultra are able to do it. They're still alive. Fresh hard point is up. The lead disappearing before our eyes as Ultra. What a comeback this would be. 6 in a row for Insight. Can he get the streak? Not going to happen. But his teammates picking up the scraps. The super subs going big on the point.
Crim's got around. Crim's making a play right now. He was all the way through. Only 10 seconds, though. Inside out spawn. This is a huge one-on-one. Just trying to buy his teammates time.
The rest of his teammates drop. The rest of his teammates drop. It's
can't
just
get there.
It's just Crim. 247. And Ultra bring it back. Take the map 1, Joe. Are you kidding me?
Unbelievable. They held on. I thought with that P5 push by Dallas Empire to make things a little crazy, but it was the first hill. I mean, they held so much time. Insight stayed alive, and okay, then you spawn out. You have to work all the way across the map, and they find the kills. Ultra 6 hardpoint wins in a row. And well, you saw the teamwork there.
How many times have we been in a somewhat similar scenario? You know, down 50 to 70, and it's these 2 points, right? You have to do both. And I don't know the percentages, but most times it's just so hard. You can't get it done. The fact they like had it, then they lost it, then got it back, like that sequence was insane, and that is why Ultra, well, they haven't lost in a month.
Yeah, and I mean, right, you have Crim who's working the outer wing. The kill on the Cammy gets his team spawns. And the reason it's so tough is because on this first hill, you have to be able to trade, and usually you need all 4 players around this area to trade effectively. So then they spawn out, but Cammy's gonna find one, then Clayster, that spawns 2 players out. Maybe some miscommunication, just not ready for the push. But iLLeY, Shotzzy, they try to hold on, and then they just can't do it. Crim tries to take a long route, and he does get to the back, but as that's happening, his 3 teammates die at the front. They spawn out, he gets isolated. Master class for Toronto Ultra.
Well, that's why I started getting a little hype when Cammy got the first pick, because you know how it goes. Sometimes it's the first domino, right? Like, you get that first pick, you got numbers, and it just follows suit. Oh my God, what a map 1. Ooh, that was fun, Joe.
It was, and I mean, Toronto Ultra, they are fired up. I didn't want to like kind of write them up, but it felt like they were chipping away a little bit at a time, and what Dallas, what Crim and iLLeY were doing at P5, I was like, well, I thought they did enough, because they would have a number of opportunities at the first hill to at least get 5 seconds. It doesn't happen.
I think at that point they were down 100, and I said, it's possible, but they probably need a miracle. And that I thought they did. Well, there it is. And whether it's a miracle or not, it's just some incredible gameplay out of Ultra. Unbelievable stuff to take that map 1. Joe, take me through the stats.
I mean, what? It's really iLLeY in Crim. Honestly, the whole team of Dallas played well. They played really well. They outslay. Cammy, though, he has the huge map for Toronto Ultra. He puts up almost 6,700 damage. Keeps them into it. He has that streak, too, that allows them to break that second P2 hill.
Absolutely unbelievable stuff to start off this best of 5 Empire Ultra. We are in for a battle. We've got the Search and Destroy coming up next. Let's see the reaction one more time from Ultra.
Call of Duty League is presented by T-Mobile, now America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile, the leader in 5G.
CDL fans, we got a lot to talk about here. Listen. Now, in CDL Major 3, we obviously had the big boys show up to play, right? OpTic came in 4th place. Toronto Ultra came in 3rd. The Subliners took 2nd. And Atlanta FaZe, in true Atlanta FaZe fashion, took home 1st place. Like, again, come on. After falling to the Ultra in the Stage 2 Major, they literally came back with the biggest vengeance I've ever seen, taking home 1st place in such a dominant fashion. But I'm going to be honest. For the Stage 4 Major, all bets are off because we are going back to LAN.
Where has it been, Joe? Oh my God. Play letting Røkkr know. Unbelievable.
There's so much more on the line now. The stakes are raised. And who do you guys think is taking home the major? Let me know in the chat room and we'll send it back.
Well, it was Ultra's first map of the tournament, and it did not disappoint. The blood wasn't flowing. It sure as hell is now. I hope you enjoyed that one at home. That was one of the better hard points you will see on the year. What a comeback on one side. I guess what a collapse on the other. I mean, Joe, you can speak to it more than I can, but usually when it's a comeback like that, it's a little bit of both. Yeah,
I mean, obviously there's some mistakes for sure, but for right now, we're focused on Vivid. And, you know, since he's joined this Dallas Empire roster, he's gotten better and better. And this was how he performed yesterday versus OpTic. I mean, he was really darn good. Him and Shotzzy really took over. But Search and Destroy 2.0, and we're going to that Miami search. I guess the best case scenario, right? That was Toronto's hard point. You gotta just forget about it. On the other side for Toronto, you're thinking, well, you know, it's just kind of, what I was thinking was like, just try to make that as stressful as possible. And they sure did that as they were able to make that comeback.
Well, real quick on Vivid, just a question. Like, what do you think has been the big shift? Because it was a drastic jump here, obviously. You think it's just getting back to LAN, like kind of being with the guys when it's a new team? Like, I don't know, being there in person, able to work through stuff, or it's just starting to click? Like, what do you think's going on?
Well, I think he's been working with them at their headquarters. I just think it's him getting used to the system. Again, he's a very young player playing with a core and their coach that has built something, and he has to figure out, where do I fit in? And he has to make himself comfortable, be able to make those plays. And again, it's not an easy thing to do at all, but it seems like he's starting to get a lot more comfortable as we've been seeing. Still had a very solid map one. Just a couple of mistakes from the team, and I think for Toronto, it's sort of a confidence booster. It doesn't matter where we are. We are one of the best teams. Our teamwork is on point. They just showed that there.
I feel like that's one of those maps where you win it. I don't care where you are in the league. Like, that can propel you for a run. Like, it's just like something like that, man. It's just, you suddenly believe in anything, like you said. What? They can get smoked in the search, and then that's all out the window, Joe.
Yeah, for Dallas, 7-2 on the year. One of their go-tos on Miami. On the other side for Toronto, 4-4. Not like a bad map. They have like 4 maps that they have like 2 really good ones. That's Express and Raid. And Moscow in Miami. It's right around like 50% for both of those. And that's what we thought for Empire. This could be a good series map-wise for them, just because you're playing Toronto on those 2 maps.
Yeah, no, 100%. So far, there's 1 drop from either team, but Shotzzy working to get this bomb down. Phoenix, thought he was going to catch him. Not going to happen. He thinks he's still there. Now you've got one at that half wall. You know how hard that is to deal with. Phoenix almost gets his head taken clean off. 24 seconds to go. They've got a hunt. 3-on-3. Here they go. Prim with the opener. He will trade it out. 2 versus 2. Nice position from Shotzzy. Last guy up will be Insight. Into a 1 versus 1. Only 11 seconds to go. There's not enough time. Shotzzy. I was going to say, good job just getting out of harm's way, but he'll chow for the kill.
Yeah, I mean, a great job. A nice execute out of Dallas. They're quick through Garage. Then on the flank there, Kleenex staying alive puts Crim in a tough position. If Kleenex waits 1 more second so that Insight can get an angle, doesn't die, they have a 3-on-2 instead. They could probably play it a little bit differently, but the fact that Crim gets a kill to force the 2-on-2 with that much time left makes it that much more difficult for Toronto Ultra. So it's just a little timing thing. You know, he's just trying to ledge slide off of that, make it a difficult kill. Make it so that Crim has to focus him, not Insight. But Insight is there for the trade. There's just not enough time to work with.
Nice team effort, too, as everyone on Empire kill a piece. Shotzzy prone and waiting, and both will line up. Bance and Kleenex, the subs out. Insight will get the trade, but numbers to Empire. And that's bomb down. What do you do if you're Ultra?
Still have a minute to work with, and you know it's both the Krieg players, right? You can work a pick in the middle of the map, and someone who loves to take challenges is Crim. And maybe a bit of an over challenge is now you're in a 2-on-2.
And you just don't have to take that, right? You just don't need to.
Yeah, you have bomb down. You have 2 submachine gun players on your team that can lock it down. You got to be there to support them, and now you're in a 2-on-2 situation. But look at iLLeY. iLLeY's gotten all the way through towards the offensive spawn. If it
I think that was the
somebody's
definition
going to hear that.
Of what you talk about when you say he likes to take gunfights. That was it on full display. But there's the position you called out. He gets deep, he gets the kill.
Yeah, Vivid's just going to come on through, find that. Yeah, they're just waiting for the bomb pickup. They're going to hear that audio cue. And Ultra's like, we're just trying to get this bomb out of here. But here is the sort of 2-man setup. Very common. They walk right into it. And Vivid, nice team shots with Shotzzy able to come on top.
Yeah, I think Crim was saying, thanks, guys. That was my bad. Good job. Pumping up the boys. They clutch
Probably not
up
something I needed to do, but
yeah.
That's just something he likes to do.
Yeah, I've done it my whole career. I'm going to keep doing it. Vivid,
Yeah.
4-1 on 3 in a row. We'll see if they can push this out to a 3-0 advantage. And the more we played this map, the more I've like kind of grown to appreciate it. I don't know. I like the flow of it.
There's a lot of, offenses using that time, right? You have to use your nades, your positions to work up the map, open things up offensively, get the defense to try to just over-rotate to one side. You have a 3-man stack here at B, so it's only Insight at A. You see Shotzzy starting to work on up. 2-man setup up top. And I think as more and more Shotzzy moves up, that might be the call to rotate on over. Empire just trying to get as much info as they can on these defenders. And Vivid's like, all right, well, if mid's open, let's do this. It's not open, though. It's closed.
Yeah, no. Not open for business. His Insight peeks the window, hits the beams. The one's in behind, and that'll be Shotzzy. Now the site wide open. The 3 players from Ultra tracking across will make it 2 as Crim gets revenge, takes out Cammy. Shotzzy finds a Krieg. That's a stick from Kleenex. Kleenex now in a 1 versus 2. Bomb planted for Empire.
Got so much to clear. He's got so much to clear.
They're so far. They're so deep.
He has no idea where Shotzzy went. No.
I was like waiting to see if he was going to swap to a Krieg like he got one because like, this is going to be hard. He's going to have the full send at this point.
Yeah, but that's all on Shotzzy, right? Shotzzy and Vivid, they think they've kind of read the round. They're looking middle. They don't really see anything. They see Insight up top, and Shotzzy's like, okay, just kind of wait for me. Vivid as well. I think Vivid's more so playing that rotational spot where if someone hops over the wall, he's got a free kill. On the opposite side, Shotzzy's like, wait for me. Wait for me. As soon as I get this kill, that bomb site is wide open, and that's on him. Then Crim locking down the middle of the map.
Well, Ultra, after that incredible comeback, now just really need a round. Maybe hoping they don't have to pull off something insane again. Might have a 1-on-1 on the other side. Well, Shotzzy, again, he's finding kills early in rounds. To get 3 of these. He's had the first blood of the trade right after. Some damage in, but Vance will get behind it.
Shotzzy's behind again. Shotzzy might stop this. I think he will. He didn't stop this plant. Oh, he doesn't see him on the bomb. Oh, the timing. Bomb's down, but they're going to have the man advantage.
Well, there's eyes on one. Shotzzy continuing to get information. Just give him a little love tap to let him know he's aware he's there.
This where's Kleenex, right? That's what they're waiting on.
Lurking. Yep. Here he comes. Shotzzy reads it. Shotzzy continues to make plays within this round. On 5 in a row. Popping the bomb. Trust the teammates to get the kill. Is Empire cruising in the search?
Well, that's just an individual play. He finds the first blood. Again, reading the map, not seeing much beach side, takes the one-on-one on Cammy. And then not only does he read it, but he spots inside, he gives that info to his team, and he throws out the tactical. The tactical hits CleanX. You know, if CleanX dodges that time it might work out a little bit differently, but that gives him the heads up of, hey, they're on the bomb. CleanX has to check that defuse. And well, the last couple of rounds, that's all on Shotzzy.
Yeah, do you feel like that was just kind of lacking? Like, in the sense of, you know, we know how much time he put into Search last year. You talked about it all the time and how good they were. And I feel like some of that playmaking ability wasn't there. Maybe he's just gotten a lot more comfortable. Has the timing sound better now?
I think it was Huke. Huke was always kind of that island role player, taking one-on-ones, and they've needed someone to step up into that spot. Shotzzy was typically the bomb carrier, and he still is, but defensively it was always Huke who tried to find openings.
Yeah, good point. Well, Shotzzy is doing a pretty good job himself. Vance will keep this to a 2 versus 2. Bomb down A side. Vance is just going to be playing from the deep boat. Prim's trying to wrap across and maybe see if he can take a one-on-one. Insight's kind of lurking behind. He might get eyes on either player soon. iLLeY might be able to get shots at him.
It's just such a strong position. Yeah, it's just such a strong position, but both players able to stay up. Prim and iLLeY, but Vance, he works the flank. Now it's a one-on-one. Got time.
Main AR. First main AR. He has some, but not a lot. Has to get the bomb planted and has got to do it now. Here goes the plant. Prim. First Insight. Insight, man, he came into the league and drops like 18 in his first search. We know he can do it. But look at Crim just tucked away. And Ultra desperately need this round. Does he check it? He doesn't, or he does too late. Crim wins the one-on-one. Empire getting close to a 6-0. But Joe, what would you, if you could compare the two, I guess, you know, that comeback in Hardpoint, I guess maybe not quite like a full sale scenario, but it's pretty wild.
Yeah,
I mean, do something crazy again.
Yeah, I mean, it was like they needed 4 points. It's pretty darn close. Yeah, it's almost about as.
I don't know what the 1-to-1 is there, but
it's pretty close. But I'll tell you what, I mean, you talk about composure on one side, but also the composure on the other. Just to bounce back from that, Dallas up 5-0 after that breakdown in map 1. You got to give them props. But they still need one more round. Crim on 6. Beautiful 1v1. Insight was trying to read him on that wrap. Doesn't happen, but Shotzzy, this has been his beach all game long, and it is in round 6.
I swear, it's like every round he's had the first blood or the trade on the first blood. He's been insane. Another fight. If he would have ripped Cammy somehow, I would have left. Shotzzy is on one. Grim making plays as well. Insight able to take that to keep him in it, but iLLeY has the position all down to Cammy. Or this is a quick 6-0. 1 versus 2, bomb in hand, 40 seconds to go.
Got some time. 2 Dallas players are pretty split. Where is he going to play this from? He's probably going to try and back up to the boat. If he does that, Crim's going to spot him. Crim's not seeing anything right now. iLLeY either. So he's gotten himself to a really solid position. The problem is, though, is when is he going to check that bomb? If he turns around at the wrong time, that's going to mean it's a flank. And here comes the first one-on-one. Tries to get around, not able to do so. Dallas Empire 6-0 in map number 2.
Okay, I don't know what this series is right now. We have one of the most electric map 1 of the year, then a 6-0. But, Joe, when we looked at it, and kind of like we brought up going into the beginning of the series, like the searches is what was really interesting here, especially with the Empire improvements and just the 2 maps that were in play. We knew they were the better Miami team, and, well, they showed it there.
No, 100%. A great map from Dallas Empire. A lot of props to Shotzzy because he probably won them 3 of those rounds, including this one. Just the plays he was making on the beach, taking individual one-on-ones, reading the map. But I think what Dallas does better than anyone on this map is their 2 ARs, especially on offense. They play around the middle of the map, right? You have the top balcony, you have someone front car, and all they're doing is calling out and putting in shots on people rotating. And that's just giving them information to their subs on what's open, what timings or routes can they hit. It's always Crim and iLLeY just making sure that they control that middle so they have quick rotations.
Unbelievable. Shotzzy, so good. Yeah, he only had 2 first bloods, but it just felt like he had more, right? Like, he has had so many early engagements in the game. He was a absolute beast. 8 kills to lead the way. Crim right there with him. On the other side of it, I mean, not much you can chat about when you get 6-0'd. I mean, poor Cammy, who just dropped 38th in map 1, had 267 damage in the entire surge. Joe.
Yeah, it's tough, but hey, at least they had to come back in map 1, and now you get to that control, right? Which has been, I mean, how good has Toronto been on control, right? I mean, we always gas it up. So the fact that they're 1-1 now into their game mode, you have to be feeling good.
100%. But let's get to the U.S. Army tactical play. It's going to be from round 4. It's going to be Shotzzy. He had so many brilliant moments over the course of that. As you said, he might have won him half the rounds.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first one-on-one, right? He's working up the beach, doesn't see anything. What that does is it tells him, okay, this is a B hit. But then in, you know, Vivid, he stays alive back alley. He's giving all of this information away. And look at number 2. Shotzi's working across the middle of the map. He knows that the bomb is being planted. So there's probably not a lot to work with inside of up top. And he's able to get the bomb planter. He gets the information on the insight. And then the next thing that they have to find is, where is Kleenex? Where is that number 8, right? Because that's where insight is. But watch this. He throws this tactical because he's just waiting for that flank. And it's able to connect right on the Kleenex. As soon as we switch screens, it hits Kleenex. Kleenex is thinking, I have to check the bomb defuse. And Shotzzy's like, I got this. This is my round.
Yeah, an incredible read from Shotzzy. A brilliant search and destroy is, yeah, I mean, it's a gut-wrenching loss. You take in that first map. It's a painful one, but resilience at its finest there for our host of Major 4, Dallas. They get the 6-0 victory. We're tied up 1-1 to control after the break.
The Call of Duty League is presented by the US Army. What's your warrior? USAA is made for gamers. Level up your gear protection with USAA insurance.
My name is Methods. Welcome to Call of Duty League's loadout guides powered by Scump. Getting down to the good stuff, we have my Crimsix class, my favorite gun in the game. We have the Microflex LED, which is my red dot. For the muzzle, we have Infantry Compensator. This helps your vertical recoil, but does affect your horizontal recoil. For the barrel, we have 19.7 Ranger. The magazine, we have 40 rounds. For the underbarrel, we have Field Agent Grip, which gives you 5% vertical recoil control and 20% horizontal recoil control. For the handle, we have Airborne Elastic Wrap. And for the stock, we have Røkkr stock. You get 30% sprint to fire time and 40% aim walking movement speed. Well, that's my loadout. I want to thank Scump for powering today's episode, and I want to thank all of you guys for watching at home. Please head over to the comments and let me know what you guys are using in game.
You just witnessed some phenomenal composure out of Empire to bounce back in the way they did to get the 6-0 victory in the search and destroy. But now we go to Control. Joe, talk to me about Ultra and Control.
Oh, well, stage 4 perfect, 5-0, but even before that, stage 3, I think they were 8-1. So, I mean, 13-1 their last 14 with 1 loss on Garrison and Atlanta FaZe. You take that all day. But focusing on this stage, 5-0, second KD. The best, they haven't lost a defensive round. They have the second in offensive rounds at 5-4. They play a lot of Garrison. It's one of their comfortable maps where they're undefeated this stage at 3-0. On the other side for Dallas Empire, though, you are 2-2. This is one of your better Control maps. It just, you got a lot going against you as you look at that graphic.
It's just crazy when you're so lights out in one mode. It just feels like you've always got a shot in the series. And granted, it's not like they've had a shot. They've 3-0'd everyone over the last month, but they've just been dominant.
Well, it's also just a huge momentum shift, right? Because when you're 1-1 in this and you have that sort of game 3 to put yourself up 2-1, even if they were to go on to lose that hard point, they can then get at least to their search and destroy map pick, right? Like that's what they've been so good at since Inside has joined this team. Just extending that series, keeping the pressure on their opponents.
Yeah, and I mean, this appears to be one going the distance. You would, if it plays out like you think it would. I mean, we're going, assuming they win the Control. They're so good at Control, we don't know what's going to happen. But we go to Empire's hardpoint, and it'd be a game 5. That's how I'm hoping it goes. Give me a game 5 battle. Hello, cameraman. How are you?
He's doing pretty well. He's just hanging out. But yeah, I'm all down for it. It's just, yeah, it's 100% an uphill battle here for Dallas Empire. But I mean, look, listen, man, you look at the beginning half, the beginning 85% of game 1, they were frying, right? The guns were hot. We saw it there. They kept that confidence in game 2. They have to keep that going. Huge bounce back map for them.
Go.
See now, as they know, I mean, this is, we've always talked about Empire, their preparation going into majors, why they're a tough team to beat with when they have a day of prep, right? What did they do overnight to get ready for this matchup?
Hear me out. Anything is possible in Control. Haven't Surge won like 4 in a row now? After losing like 82 in a row?
Yeah, it's right around those numbers,
Yeah, see? So, who knows? Anything can happen. Benjamin Bance! Pop it! Nice start.
He's dancing on the main floor of the tank factory. He's getting some forward position, but they don't get trapped. Nice kills by Shotzzy and Crim.
He's
to allow them to get off of that spawn, but they don't know where Bance is, right? Where is Bance? They're trying to find him. Now, well, they are very staggered as Shotzzy and iLLeY just trying to play their lives. And off spawn, Crim and Vivid right back into Bance. Okay.
Well, nice, big win. But is that one of the more, in your experience as a player, one of the more annoying situations? Like when you're coming off spawn and trying to find someone, you don't know where they are? It's got to be frustrating.
Yes, because you check a corner, you come off spawn, you check another corner, maybe you skip one, that's where he is. You come off spawn, you do it again. It just feels like you're wasting so much time.
Yeah. But Vivid wins the gunfight and on to the point. Go Empire. There's one last peek. Insight will get a kill, but the point will finish. They want to take the fight to mid. I mean, sometimes you'll see teams just kind of give it up, back up towards A and top green. They kept the fight here.
Well, that's just a great job by Crim and Shotzzy just to stay alive, right? When Bance is set up. And yeah, I mean, Vivid loses that gunfight. Who knows what spirals for Dallas Empire. But they win those gunfights. They bail themselves out of a tough situation. They were able to get that minute extension. Now they have to work towards A. The problem is, well, you got Cammy on a 5 spree, and they are just stuck in their spawn.
No, it was a good point, though, because that's like one of those kills that's worth more than a kill, or it should be on the scoreboard, right? Like, who knows what happens, but they're back into the blender. It's Bance, Cammy, getting back to their spots. 5 in a row. What could he turn this into? He was electric in the map 1. 38 bombs. Bance now with the Krig. We'll end up dropping. The streak will continue for Cammy. One more to pick up the artillery. And there it is. I thought Vivid was going to play spoiler again.
That's one of those situations I just feel like we have to, comms-wise for Dallas, you have to know that Cammy is on a streak. That to me needs to turn into a double challenge instead of a solo challenge. So he doesn't earn those streaks. That artillery is so strong, especially defensively when you have to work towards A. But Ultra, they give up that B point. Since then, they have just controlled the middle of the map, and they do just such a good job at this, right? Just playing disciplined, not giving the offensive teams too much to work with. It is why they haven't lost a defensive round throughout this stage.
Insight with a triple to close it out. One player left, and he will fall. But a question for you, maybe for aspiring players or new viewers. How did you handle that? Like, as far as somebody's going on streaks, was it one person on the team that kind of kept track of that? Was it a team effort? Like, how do you deal with it?
In terms of like kind of what he's on, I mean it's more of like he hasn't died in a little bit. He's probably on a streak. You kind of guess like 4 or 5. You're not 100% sure, but you know that he hasn't died. Sometimes someone has to give that calm. I mean, sometimes it was me, sometimes it was someone else. You kind of look at one of your vocal guys, one of those leaders who are paying attention to more of just what's in front of them.
Yeah, I was curious if it was like
you have to be on top of it.
Someone's job to be on top of it, or if it was more of a team effort.
I think there's someone who focuses on it a little bit more, but they might not have recognized that situation. They may have been out of that fight.
True. Well, it's a great defense, and well, a good start to the offense. Little jump shot to the face of aBeZy. 3 down for Empire. Back to spawn they go. 1 lurking in Shotzzy towards the B site. Maybe he can make a play, but as you're seeing on your screen, it's transition over to A. 4 in a row for Insight. Here's Shotzzy, though, trying to win the one-on-one. Can't quite finish it.
Well, you saw Toronto just kind of looking for him. He's going to head to spawn. He's going to try to spawn kill this. Meanwhile, Insight, he's just on A, trying to do what he can and waste time. Nice recovery there from Empire. You kind of had what you normally don't see from Ultra. They were trying to get 2 positions done, and it backfires.
Yeah, and then it looked like Clemix tried to kind of do what Shotzzy was doing on the other side, apply pressure to the spawn, but he ends up dropping. So what looked pretty good for Ultra for a moment now looks horrible.
I don't know what Shotzzy is taking damage from. Is that his teammate? I have no idea, but
it's a
dropped to like 50 HP. Could have just be Crim taking gunfights. It just happens to be his teammate, but...
Well, at the end of the hard point he did, and that search round he did, he likes to just, he shoots. Shooter shoots.
He sees a figure. I mean, you can see, look at the top left. He's got 12 deaths already. Like, he's taken a lot of gunfights. iLLeY, though, with a chance for a streak. He's on 6 in a row, and he find number 7.
So is that kind of odd for you when your, main AR is got more than double the interactions of Shotzzy?
It was the same thing in map 1. I mean, it is odd for me, but it's just Crim, man. I don't know what to tell you.
7 in a row for iLLeY, nearly 8, but he gets the artillery. They are locking this down. So far, it's been all defense, but it was a nice sequence there from Empire. I thought they were in trouble. I mean, I thought there was at least going to be the first point for Ultra, and the split and the...
Well, that's typically what we don't see from Ultra.
Yeah.
They are a team, offensively, they can work A really well. When Banson and Clemix get inside of that breaks room, how hard is it to deal with them, right? It's such a pain in the ass. And instead, they kind of 2-2 split. They're looking for Shotzzy. One of them dies, and Shotzzy just heads to spawn. And yeah, because you only have 1 player on each point, it just takes so long to make that progression. Usually, if it's 3 dead, they're like, okay, let's just triple hop this, get this done with. More time, the better for us.
100%. We'll see when the streaks come into play, and, well, who maybe finds an opening on offense. Shotzzy is just, again, taking damage from Lord knows where. Coming in from every side, it feels like. Gets on the point. Team kill comes in, but they'll drop Shotzzy. Can Vivid push it out? He's able to win the one. Teammates flying up mid. It's like no one can get like 2 to 3 players set up around an objective and, I don't know, get in some solid aggressive position.
Crim's been working up the middle of the map, though. Cammy's been the last one top green. He was just kind of waiting, making sure nobody from Dallas tried to rotate on over. Controlling that top green position, making sure Ultra have it locked down as Shotzzy goes back towards Vents. Crim watching over him. Just trying to get any progression they can get, but that's going to mean it's time to go for Toronto Ultra. It's just been 3 trades in a row. The last gunfight in a 1v1. Looks like it's going to go the way of Cammy right now, as Shotzzy in such a tough spot.
Yeah, it's like sometimes, you know, you wonder if a team staggered because the pushes aren't on point, and sometimes it's just this trade fest where a great job by Ultra just not allowing them to ever really get there in full force. Under 40 seconds on the clock. Now Crim does get 2. He's at 15 and 15. His teammates are right behind him, so looking to push. They've got everybody here.
And the one who might play spoiler might be Cammy. Yeah, Cammy again goes through top green. They're playing from bottom middle. He's got a 74 UI, so he's applying more pressure. Vivido able to read it. Him and Shotzzy do a really good job staying alive. But is it enough to get done with this point? And that might be it. You see Clinex kind of shifting on over. That's going to be the call. The last player is banned inside event.
We will see the A objective. Does Empire get it done? They actually, well, they had a life advantage. It's going to be 15-15. Minute 20 on the clock. Ultra start to light it up, though. Everybody drops. And again, when it feels like there is an opening, suddenly a team is battling out of spawn again.
Well, and this is just what Ultra have always done, right? They give up points. They don't overextend. When they have to make that first hold, they do. And then what they do with that first hold is they just take map positioning away from you. It was just so clean. 4 dead. Now Empire only with 9 lives remaining. 50 seconds on the clock. I have to try to make something work. You do have the streak on iLLeY. But he's probably just going to hold on to it in case things go bad on offense. Nice shots from Crim.
You just think about that play, that 4-man wipe. How much time that took? What was it? What did I say? A minute 20 when it first transitioned? They're getting to the point with 35 seconds. But they will force the streak
I think both
out.
used it. I think both used it.
I thought it was just the one. Cammy's able to connect on 2.
Saw he activated it, so maybe he just pinged it to give comms to his teammates. So iLLeY might have held on to it.
Okay.
But there you go. You get it at least out if you are Dallas Empire. So you don't have that 100%. Streak to deal with. And for Ultra, they just say, let's just make sure we win this round. We're starting to lose some gunfights. Let's just put it away.
I think that's a big win, though, if you're Empire, considering what happened after you got the first point. The fact that you're back to step 1, you force the streak out. It's a win. Not a round win, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, so iLLeY hung on to it. So it was just a ping for him, so we won't have that.
And they get another strong defensive hold. And get us to a round 5. Give me something epic. Like the map 1, please. More of that. Shotzzy,
it's always major times. That was a little crazy.
Yeah, yep, that is true. Okay, well, there's one guy really here on defense for iLLeY. The other 3 are coming for Empire and iLLeY. The other 3 coming off a spawn. Crim gets the angle, though, able to at least pick up 1. They're going to wrap this back to B, it looks like. It'll be Shotzzy in position. I thought they had numbers in an opening for a moment, but that door got shut on both sides.
Well, it feels it's just like one of those plays.
He's disgusting.
Yeah, it's just his ability to stay alive. But yeah, I think Clinex was just hoping that maybe his teammates can get to top green a little quicker. And he's put in an awkward position, right? Do I slay inside of bricks? Do I just wait for them? And maybe the better call was just for him to slay a little bit forward, but they were trying to get on that point. And instead of doing that, now they're in a tough spot. Shotzzy on 5 in a row.
Yeah, he just does not look fun to play against at all. The movement on point, the shots are hitting. 14 seconds to go. His Ultra will make one final effort, but iLLeY has got the cross. They'll catch Vance underneath. Crim looking over. We'll drop the insight. Shotzzy next up the bat there with the trade. With 1.3. That'll be the final kill. All defense still to a round 5 we go. And will the one streak be the difference?
Well, in Empire, what? They get offense or defense, right? Because they had 2-point Bs captured. You had nothing on the side of Ultra. You know, their first round was a little bit longer, but they didn't get any progression done besides 2 ticks. So I think it was 6-2, 6-3 maybe, but should be Empire on defense.
Yeah, it is. And now think about that. Like, you don't have that streak to open something up. Maybe if you're Ultra, you still have it if you're Empire. And, you know, on defense here, it can bail you out. Or at least give you a second crack at a retake. Round 5. Ultra trying to rebound from that 0-6 loss in the search. Empire looking for back-to-back maps. Cammy, he's having another great respawn.
Well, and I just think for Ultra, like, I just want to see them get done with this point. I mean, I guess you give props to Empire for every single time it looks like Ultra are going to get something done, they fought right back. Because when Ultra are at their best, it's when they have around 2 minutes to work towards A. When you can get Kleenex and Bance inside of bricks, but they have given them no openings, and it's no openings in this round. Bance at least able to find one to get them off a spawn. And Crim flies on in, but a lot of map positioning here for Shotzzy and iLLeY.
Do you think it was a little indecisive at times from them? I mean, don't get me wrong, the Empire defense has been great.
They had 2-3 downs multiple times, or they just both times. One time they shifted to A last offense. The first time they split. So not typically what we see out of them. And also, it's just that Dallas have put them in 4-down situations.
Yeah. Well, they're making them make hard decisions, right?
Yeah.
25 seconds to go. Empire looking for an edge in this series. Can Bance go huge at mid. That'll be 2 down. This could be a big kill. But iLLeY is still up at B. iLLeY, Crim. They take down 3, and that might have been the hopes and dreams of an Ultra Map 3 win. The 4th player will fall. Unbelievable on the defensive side for Empire. After throwing away a 100-point advantage in the Map 1, they go back-to-back. They take the edge.
It's all defense here.
If Surge can win 4 controls in a row, Empire can beat Ultra.
Yeah, I guess that's the prophecy now that we got to run with. But what, the first control loss for Ultra? What, second loss in 20 control games, 18-2. I mean, just what a run for them. And especially on Garrison, one of the teams that have really set the standard. But a couple of offensive decisions that don't go their way. They got a little greedy. And they're usually not a team that gets greedy.
Yeah, and a lot of the time, I mean, you really only have a couple shots, right? On offense, on a map like this, you have a couple chances. And especially with the way Empire was playing defense, they were amazing. They only gave a few opportunities, and it seemed like the few they blundered. And if it took a little bit too long to get going, Empire were there, and next thing you know, they're 4 dead.
And again, props to Empire. As well, they now have a 2-1 advantage. Take a look at the scoreboard. It was a close game, and you can see it in the score. I mean, slaying pretty even. Damage, everyone's around 4,000. There's no real standouts here.
Look at the defense, like, objective kills. I never really look at that. But there were a ton for Empire. Like, it felt like Ultra kept kind of getting to the point and then just getting smoked off of it. Empire on point in the retakes, locking down Ultra. They're up 2-1. Fist bumps are out. Empire, the host of Major 4, looking to close out this series in the hard point. Their pick coming up next. Joe, if I would have asked you after that hard point, after being up 100 if you're Empire, and losing in the fashion they did, if I would have asked you if they would then beat the best control team on one of their best maps, what would your answer probably been?
Right now, honestly,
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of saw that with like the Røkkr NYSL series, their comeback. You see what that momentum does, but again, that's what kind of happens when you go to a hard point to a search and destroy. It really is just an incredible regain by Empire. You see what they were able to do. Now we go to an Apocalypse hard point where this is their hard point map pick. It's not anything crazy. It's 2-2 for Empire, 2-1 for Ultra, but it should be a fun one. And just the way both of these teams are shooting. But here's a look at game one and Insight. He started off slow, but he does Insight things, and that is, I'm going to play lower interactions, a ton of hill time, but when he has to make the play, he does.
Yeah, no, he has been so fun to watch, but yeah, I was pretty convinced we were going to a map 5, just thinking about it being control and then Empire's pick, but now with Empire in command and going to their map, it might not be a huge edge, like you said, not like the most reps or not a super dominant team, but picked it for a reason. And as you mentioned earlier as well, we know what the prep is like for this team. They had the evening to get ready. You gotta expect them to come in locked and loaded.
Well, it's always right. You know you're going to start on the bad side. How do you try to flip those spawns from P1 to P2? That's always kind of the... It can either turn really ugly or pretty darn good for you quickly on Apocalypse hardpoint. So we'll see. Can Ultra hold on? Can they get some momentum rolling after losing a control? Again, 18-2. Their last 20 controls. One of their first losses in a very long time.
Joe, I just realized that I was muted. I had some
okay, I had no idea if you were there or if my internet messed up.
No, I said something really stupid. You didn't respond. I'm like, that's not good.
No, I honestly thought my internet messed up because that tends to happen. So I was very confused and I didn't know what to say. So I was waiting to hear that voice of yours.
Apologies to those watching at home. That is my bad. As I hit the mute button.
I just freaked out a little bit. I was just standing here like a statue, like, well, do I talk? Do I not talk? I don't know.
Amazing.
Because I can't see you.
Here we go. As we're in the map 40, talked about Empire having to try to work this flip, and Vance already off to a 4-0 start in a position to try and make sure that doesn't happen through mid-map and collect the time as well. Perfect start for Ultra. There'll be no presence from Empire when this pops as Vance gets number 5.
Yeah, already up to 5-0, and exactly what you needed. A Shotzzy quick on that trade. Gonna allow them to work up the middle of the map. You see the spawns come in. Vance and Cammy gonna hold towards that backside. iLLeY's watching over his teammate, though. But where's that first push gonna come towards? It's gonna be that middle of the cut, but it's all Toronto Ultra in the feed as Crim just trying to hold on. And he's actually running third 74U on this map. And, I mean, when Crim was the best in the world and multiple COD titles, the guy could do it with any weapon, and you are seeing it here. Why?
You absolutely are. Timing, not great, but he's still up. Trying to hold the front. Will fall. Shotzzy drops as well. Is Ultra battle back into it. 75-9 so far for Ultra. And just to our production team, I hope you recorded the audio of what I said because I need you to play that to Joe later so he can roll his eyes. Thank you.
Well, dude, I was just like, my internet, there's storms here. I was like, I have no idea what's happening right now.
Is there a watch where you are right now?
I got no idea. I'm in my basement, but yeah, no, that scared the heck out of me.
Okay. Oof. All right, you're still here. The duo together forever. Map 4. Empire looking to close it out and continue on in this tournament. Crim has been taking every fight on the map. Shotzzy's movement is just delectable. Let's go to an Astro listening to Dallas Empire.
Yeah, watch my dip. Yo, I have the push, Watch
right. Dude. Watch out, partner.
I got Cammy, I'm behind me.
On your weak.
On me, nice.
One more. Watch out.
All good. Go new.
He's rushed out.
They could already be here, Reese. I'm flashing in.
Let's shoot. One's going turtle, one's going to the stone.
I'm going dark. I need it.
That's why we had him. He's moving pitch.
L dead.
There.
Oh, really?
Oh, dead. One dead.
Ender. We flip. Go behind me, front.
L.
Phoenix is pitching.
Watch your front.
He's gonna be
First guy.
Front on me as well. Big one out. L, big one.
He's really go.
He's still there.
He's on the side, big go. Actually, he's in there.
Right side.
Bunker. Came in half. Nice.
Yeah. I'm one chicken.
They might call me out. Push your front. I front.
Yeah, I'm going.
Hold this.
Yo, keep watching your own chicken.
Yeah. They're gonna go low probably.
I can call out.
Oh, in front. Oh shit.
Top maps.
Front push.
Inside top maps. I front. I give it up. One was top maps. I can get
Come
top.
on,
They're
check it out.
definitely going around.
How many low? When you get something now?
I'm here, Ant.
Probably gonna be top. I'm gonna check it real quick. He jumps up top weak.
I need it.
Top, top.
Flash one mid, Ellie. Flash one mid. Flash one kid.
Yeah, they're all gonna be here, yo.
I spawn a hold.
I'm
Well,
holding.
I have a pinch. Can you
You're going low?
Hard play out.
No. They're three low, partner.
I'm marking a pitcher. pinch.
On new. Play next week.
Every time, partner, they're gonna try you.
Top
bed. I got top.
one temple.
Yo, play next in Hill week. In Hill week.
I'm here, partner.
Phoenix dead.
Nice house guy.
Dead.
Nice 4.
Good shot.
I'm Coop.
I'm on it back.
Yo, I'm on a 5. I'm on a 5L.
Yo, tie game.
One chicken.
Chicken.
Yo, back up, Reese. Back up.
No, one shot chicken.
Where is he?
He's going
I'm dark. I don't have out.
When is HyDra? When you get flood? What else spawn?
You flood.
Yo, low inside on me.
I can drop it in.
One to L.
Yeah, dark as well. Dark by said.
Oh.
Joe, Ultra were up 75-9. What the hell happened?
Just great slaying by Dallas Empire at P3 and P4. But, you know, right when we got into that listening, going into P5, you heard Shotzzy says, I spawn out. I'm going to go on a pinch, hard play your life. That's what he tells his teammates. They do that. He goes on the pinch and fries too. I mean, Shotzzy point of view, just so fun to watch. He does it again. Now it's Empire with a 50-point lead. This series all about runs, and it's happening again here in Game 4.
We talk about player POVs being special and how even if you didn't see their name, you know it was them. Shotzzy is one of those players.
Yeah, he just moves a little differently. Just thinks a little differently.
Yeah, no, he absolutely does. It is a pleasure to commentate over and watch. Is Empire getting closer to closing this out, but battling back into first will be Ultra. And Cammy, I mean, I think Cammy is like 22 and Inside is like 5.
I mean, just think about map 1 too. I mean, Cammy has been so darn good for Ultra and his hard points, just keeping them in this with his slaying ability. Band's right behind him. But if Cammy's not keeping up with what Dallas is doing, this could turn into a blowout as, once again, from P1 to P2, Ultra do a really good job holding the right side of the mini-map, making sure they have those spawns. And this is why you can kind of go on those runs on this map, because it could just be difficult to flip that map. Both teams doing a wonderful job putting on a show.
Give me another 3-point game. Let's do it. Ultra bringing it back, now down 7, as it has been a game of swings. They've got the position for second. It'll be interesting to see when we get to 3rd and 4th how that'll play out. You got to think they might have to play that a little bit differently or try to pick it up a little bit better. But so far, so good at second. Ultra now in the lead. Kleenex, slow game so far, 11 and 20. With his role on this map, they're going to need him.
Yeah, he's gotta, this is the positions he's got to be in. Why? Because look at Insight. 9 and 9, 4 in a row, just sitting on the time, right? Just sitting on the time. This is what my man does. He loves sitting in the hill, finding kills, going on sprees. We saw it in map 1. He's doing it here in map 4. And well, it was a response from Ultra. It's you know, right back into his Dallas, and then again from Ultra. 2 perfect hills in a row. And this is where it gets interesting. Sort of P3 and P4, the next couple of hills, because it's just this fight over middle of the map, just trying to control the spawns. Dallas did a really good job last time through. Can they do it again?
And how can you maybe set up Insight for streaks here? He was on 5 in a row. He has been for a while. But you're obviously looking to break. It makes that a little bit more difficult. Looking for a freebie. Just hasn't been able to find it. Oh, God, he didn't see him.
Well, Crim has a crit there. That's a kill. Instead, he's at the 74.
Oh, yeah.
He's trying to go on a pinch. And Kleenex and Cammy, they're able to find 4 kills in a row. You see the push on through. But it's even just the time now, right? Because we saw it in map 1. They have to do 2 things at once. That's exactly what Dallas has to do. This is not free time to give up whatsoever. And Kleenex, Well, he's 10 and 22. Now on 5 spree of his own. Cammy with another one. Toronto Ultra. Oh, since this second rotation has started, they have not given up anything.
You mean since we came out of the listening, you were talking about Empire slaying and frying, and it's just been an ultra kill feed montage basically since then. 222 on the board for Ultra. We've seen one comeback. Is it Empire's turn? Can they do it and close it out? Or to Ultra hold on? Artillery ready and available for Kleenex. What, Insight was on 5 or 6 in a row. Cammy's now on 6 in a row. Empire just started getting smoked. Ultra, lighten it up. Cammy's hardpoint numbers are insane. Pull it in, big fella. Game. Ultra, what was that? Over the final 4 or 5 hardpoints, just dominant. It went from swing after swing to knocking one out of the park.
Just beautiful from Cammy. I honestly, like, when they've needed a response from Shotzzy and Vivid getting hot, you've gotten it out of Cammy. He did it in map 1. He pulls out the 74U in map 4 here, has another great game. And then once they get into their setups, what does that do? When you get to your setups, when you play discipline, it makes everyone's job easier, right? What? Insight was 4-9. Hey, sit on the second hill, sit in your power position, you get 5 in a row. What does that allow Kleenex to do? Hey, go slay the middle of the map, get going. That's exactly what it does. But Empire, we talked about that game 3 win. They get it to a map 5. Now the fun begins.
Listen, I remember the moment where I really started to believe in Ultra, because I think we all knew they had good teamwork and, you know, they were fundamentally sound players. When I had the realization that Cammy was a superstar is when I started to believe. Because, like, sometimes you need that guy. And not that all the players aren't good, but when someone has to go put up, like, LeBron numbers, it's been Cammy. Like, he is unreal.
Yes, you see here, 35 and 17, 5,500 damage. Look at just below him. I mean, Insight only puts up 2,700 on the opposite side. Kind of the same thing with Vivid. A slow game. Shotzzy tried to do what he could. But I think they had around 145. I think after the first rotation of Hills, it was 145 to around 90. Since that point, it's like 20 to 160 of a run.
Yeah, you had a 5 streak for 3 of them and an 8 streak for 1. That all happened in the final 2 minutes. Like, it was unbelievable. Ultra, fire back. Get us to a 5th and final map. Do not go anywhere. We'll be back after this quick break.
Call of Duty League is presented by T-Mobile, now America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile, the leader in 5G.
Dallas Empire have smashed the gates open.
fellow with the round 1 ace. Oh, it's a shot punch. Oh no!
Once again, they saved the day. Boy, oh boy, what a slaughter that was of Cammy on a bit of a tear now. God dang, Ultra are looking fine. The battle for the North is already off to a great start.
Strong start from Toronto. Toronto have just taken the major. They truly are Ultra and
Here we go. Joe, what's the only thing that I love more than tacos?
Me.
It's a game 5, you too. Game 5 this season. Let's talk about it for Empire and Ultra.
I mean, Empire, they've had a lot of them, 8 and 5. They've had to clutch on up, and I think this is really early on when they made some, deeper runs in stage 1 and stage 2. On the opposite side, not maybe the best looking for Ultra, but it's gotten better. I think that game 5 just didn't start off too well for them, but you can see 4 and 7. What really stands out, defensive rounds for Dallas Empire, but we're going to a Moscow Search and Destroy. This is Toronto Ultra's map pick. They're 6 and 5. On the other side for Empire, 1 and 4. So a pretty darn weak map for the Empire. But again, that preparation, a new roster. Are they on the same page?
And remember, this is the part of the best of 5 we found interesting because Ultra's so good at Express, but Empire, they respect their ability there as well. They go with Moscow. Part of me want to see Express because they're both really good.
Well, Ultra just left it open, right? They said, we're going to pick Moscow. If you want to pick Express, we'll take it.
Yeah.
But instead they go with that Miami pick. Standoff comes into the fray. We've seen Dallas on Standoff. You don't want to play that. So, Search and Destroy, you can see right there. Dallas takes away Raid. They take away Standoff. That leaves these 3 open. And I think when they played each other in stage 4, they did play Express. I think it was a 6-3 or 6-4 for Toronto Ultra. So they stay away from it. But Moscow is here now. So we'll see how Dallas, if they've gotten better on this map.
Give me a game 5, round 11, Crimsix versus Cammy. 1v1. 15 seconds on the clock.
Okay. Why 15? Why? Okay, yeah, sure.
I don't really know why I said 15.
We went for it.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I'm about it.
All right. So I just heard from our producer that there was a vote in the chat on the YouTube stream of who was going to take it. 61% of you picked Ultra. I mean, that's pretty close when you consider the fact that, Ultra, they've been the better team for the last 3 months by a mile.
And which is just been one of Ultra's map go-tos. But again, a very new Dallas Empire lineup. See what preparations they made just right off the start. It's 1 towards B, 1 middle of the map, and then 2 towards A. Ultra just taking their time. It looks like the push is going to be towards middle. So this could be on Shotzzy and iLLeY to try and lock this down.
Shotzi's locking down
right up escalators. They're out.
Now the pressure from Invivid. Talk about being a new team. How will this duo work? This post plant, the nades, they go through. Not going to connect. They've been shot. Will. There's the first blood.
Boy, watch for Shotzzy. You have to wait for Shotzzy here if you're Empire. They're doing just that. They're backing down. Now you got to go. There's the engagement. The rest of them have to fly. Are there any trades? iLLeY of the escalators. They're making sure nobody's on the flank. Oh, the mantle. Oh, that hurts. But Cammy is there to find a kill, but we're into a 2-on-2. And CleanX has stayed alive. He's playing his life. iLLeY trying to do what he can.
He's in between both. 12 seconds to go. Ultra able to take it, but what a skirmish it was. My heart skipped a beat when he mantled there, because that's not what he was going for.
No, but it's just on that kill on the flank. You're waiting for your playmaker to go. They get the first blood, but Ultra, they lock down the flank. Who was that gunfight? Because whoever that was won them the round. I don't know who won it on the flank, but that was a big one.
It was CleanX, wasn't it? Oh, I'm not sure. I think it was CleanX,
I'm not sure. But it was one they needed.
Yeah. No, you were hyping it up. The flank was coming in. They pick it up. And Shotzzy, to be fair, in every mode has been finding those openings, right? Ultra, strike first. Now, what do Empire have? We know they put the time into the prep. This is where you got to show it. The prep doesn't do a whole lot. Once the skirmish gets going, it gets wild. Some stuff you can't practice.
Now, some early nades come in. You can see that forces Insight to have to back on up. They think that maybe this is going to be towards B. Vance and Kleenex, they're starting to cheat up. Starting to cheat towards this player who plays on the flank. We've seen players, do that jump up spot, get caught from time to time. So Crim's just playing his life. The stun towards the window is just going to be a fake, and it's going to be a rotation on over towards A. This is going to be a 4v2. We'll see what Kleenex and Vance can do.
Kind of similar to the other side, but
very similar. Very similar.
Both. Yeah, I mean, it looked kind of the same, but the other two players were a little bit closer, and, well, who got the first blood different as well. It is just a massive advantage to Empire. They pick them apart. They get it done to even it up.
Yeah, the only difference is, right, is that Dallas is kind of playing for it in their 2-2 split because they're setting up Shotzzy on the flank. Toronto, they're playing out a little bit further. They're trying to catch them in a trap. Right, make it a little bit messy, somehow come out on top of that, but it just doesn't happen. So now the question will be for both teams, do you start to cheat a site? Do you 3 or 4 stack towards A, play a retake at B? We'll see what Empire opt to do here.
Yeah, I mean, they weren't going to get there in time. I mean, you just got to hope your players there get a kill or two, but they don't. And the rotation, still 10 seconds out. They've been getting a little aggressive brick side.
The same round, both sides. Same round.
Right? Right back to it. Crim's cheating up a bit. He might get caught. He does. Vance with the first blood. Tries to play maybe a little more aggressive off angle. Does not pay off for Crim. Numbers to Ultra. Not anymore. Vivid. Brings it to a 2 versus 2. Vance is a hunting. Oh, no.
Get
he
out.
Can't finish the
Slide.
kill. He can't finish the kill. Run, Vivid, run.
Get your new knee pads out.
Vivid's still going. You cannot catch me on the fat. Oh, he caught him over there. Shotzzy now. 1v2.
And they're out. Look how quick that was. They knew, all right, where was he? He was middle of the map. All right, peace. We're going straight to B. A little bit similar there. Defensively, it's Vivid and Crim who cheat up a bit. Crim gets caught. iLLeY tries to work the middle of the map. He dies. At least Vivid's able to make this a 1v2. Possible for Shotzzy.
How many rounds did he win in the game 2 for him? Well,
not this one, though.
A lot. Not that one. No. I was going to say he's got a shot, but yeah, no, it ends quickly. And yeah, I mean, I get it. You want to change up your position on defense, right? You want to get a little more aggressive, hold off angles, but a double chow, he can't finish one.
Yeah, the problem is you aren't spotting mid.
Yeah.
That escalator's push, it's just tough to time. It happens so fast. As soon as they're out, it's multiple, right? And you just get caught off guard. You get overwhelmed. So we'll see, do teams start playing a little bit more for map control? Start to maybe take a risk on defense up the middle of the map, especially Dallas. It's been pretty default here defensively for both teams.
Just so we both are clear, it was Vance that got that kill, by the way, picked up the flank.
Okay. Yeah.
Twitter, thank you for always being there.
They always answer our questions. They're the smartest people on the planet.
I don't know how I missed that because I'm in love with Vance. It's 4-1. You see a bit of a different hit this time around, and you saw the player cheating over towards A, like you were talking about. Now starting to wrap back towards B. Ultimately, it's going to be the same thing. I thought for a second, maybe it wasn't. It is. Back to Eskies we go.
Yeah, the tacticals keep the players at B. Now they're going, though. They're going. They're cheating over a little bit quicker. Can the two players here hold on? It's a bit of a different setup, but they bought enough time. The reinforcements are here for Toronto Ultra into a 1-on-2. There we go. They cheat that timing. They know the rotation's coming in, and the two players hold on. Great job by Kleenex and Vance. Just buy time for Cammy and Insight to get there, and they do just that.
Well, that's exactly what you want to see, right? After how the first round went. Impressive stuff. This has been a fun search to watch.
Well, just offensively, right? Both teams are slowly setting up this push through mid a little bit differently, but they're keeping them honest towards B, opening up that A hit. But there's the cheat, right? Okay, now we're 3 stacking A. Toronto Ultra, they kind of figured that much. So what does that mean? B is going to be open. And for iLLeY, this is just an info gain. He spots that. There's presence here. We play this retake.
And now they're right back, and does it happen again? Do we go Eskies? We're thinking about it. Oh, no, here we go. Into B they go. Shotzzy will be the point man. Wrapping out street side will be iLLeY. iLLeY finds the opening kill. And ultimately, back to Eskies.
I'm actually surprised Vivid and Crim have stayed honest here. Usually when that rotation comes in, it's all 4, so you don't lose a man advantage. They're both just trying to hold this back-to-back setup. Vivid and Crim trying to wait for their reinforcements. Cleanex, though, he's locked down, too. He's trying to find number 3. Does that!
2 versus 1. It's on iLLeY with 20 seconds to go. Cleanex working on the ace. iLLeY just clearing. Can't catch him. He gets out. The nade. Maybe some damage. Cleanex will drop. It's a 1 versus 1. Can iLLeY be the hero? He does it! iLLeY clutches up in the 1v2.
Woo! He read that perfectly. He knew that he was still there. That he was the one. In a back-to-back setup. And he just held his angle. He held it. But what a play from Cleanex. Rotates on in. Yeah, I mean, I thought in the round, when they saw the rotation, I thought Vivid and Crim were going to give that up. You got first blood as well from Insight. But what happens is when they stay, that makes it 3-on-2 quickly.
That's what I think. That's why iLLeY got the first blood. Yeah.
Well, but then that makes it even more like, right? Why not play the 4v3?
Sure,
Instead, it was a 3v2 at the site. They don't rotate off. That's when things get messy, but iLLeY bails them out.
He's on 3 in a row now. Opens the round. Closes the round with the hammer. Insight. That's an early
yourself.
pick. Oh, I thought, from beams to his own blood. Cammy, though, will hit it. 4v2. Big numbers here for Ultra.
This is just aggression. They just switch it up. They go right at him. You have 2 over here towards Globe, middle of the map. Look at this. Look at where Cleanex already is in the offensive spawn. Getting that info, trapping them in. He says, hey, come find me.
Well, I mean, I'll never forget. I know it was Raid, but that first time when FaZe lost his search, it was Ultra. They just weren't ready for the aggression. They can send it. Crim now 1v4. No hope. As Ultra answer back.
It's early in that round, right? I mean, the players' window, they don't expect 2 towards Globe. One player's trying to push up for the trade. Cammy is there with his teammate. And that's kind of like what Dallas has done, right? Every offense, it's a start towards B and then maybe a wrap towards A. They cheat that rotation. They basically say, all right, well, we're going to take the defensive setup to you, and they catch them off guard.
S&D is great, isn't it? The mind games. The
adaptation.
A lot of it. Yeah, it's amazing. Well, here they go. It's iLLeY.
He's
aggressive up mid. He's aggressive up mid. They're all here, though. Can iLLeY... How many does he find? He'll check it, Vance, with the first blood, and look at everybody flying back now.
Talk about the ability to adapt. They know they won that defensive round. They stuck with a 3 towards A, 1 mid.
They cut it back. They cut it back. They cut it back and it goes from a 3-on-1. Oh my God, Ultra making the plays. Not over yet.
Hold on now.
It's not over yet.
Hold on now.
No. It might be falling apart. It was a 2 versus 4.
We got stuck. Oh no.
It's Cleanex. It hits the nade. Now all on Shotzzy. His movement makes me nauseous. iLLeY already clutched the 1v2. Surely Ultra don't let it happen again. There's the shots from high. When he got that far, I was like, why was he shot in the back yet? Ultra
But
close it
that's
out.
them adapting, right? What have Dallas done? They've always had iLLeY play by himself in the middle, especially, the last defensive round, which worked. I mean, it was a clutch, but it worked, so they stuck with it. Now, what we saw early on in the defaults was Shotzzy would have been there, right? Because he was playing Globe. He was watching the cross. iLLeY would have been there for a crossfire. Because of the success at A, that forces Shotzzy to rotate to A. It leaves iLLeY by an island, and they take the risk. It's just beautiful changes from Ultra.
Can you just get an audiobook? Just called Joe Talks COD. I would listen to it forever.
You don't have to. You can just tune in almost every week. YouTube.com/COD League. We're here.
There we go, baby. 5-2. Ultra looking for one more round to take this game 5. Insight. I think got eyes on one. He's got some help here in Kleenex. Cammy's starting to wrap over as well. I'm
This is going to work
for Dallas.
flank.
iLLeY with the first blood again, and it doesn't get traded. Kleenex couldn't finish it, and Shotzzy is still lurking.
Bance has got around, though. Bance has got around. Crim didn't watch the full flank. He cheated middles. He might flank them, but Bance is already through the spawn. Now on the opposite side, what does Crim do? Crim has left kind of his teammates all by himself. Kleenex is going to hop to defuse right away. He's going to hop
he's
it.
on it. He's on it.
He's got to check
He's on
it.
it.
He does.
Ooh, he gets there just in time, and Empire stay alive.
Yeah, Crim was kind of making a play on his own. He was trying to flank them. He's thinking all 4 wrap back, but they didn't. Bance goes through the offensive spawn. He's trying to make a play, and he does. He makes it messy. He makes it into a 2-on-2. They clutch on up. Shotzzy, another great play. And now it's just defensively, how do Dallas want to play this? Because now iLLeY, he cannot play this by himself. Do they maybe want to lock down middle of the map? Do they want to give up A? We'll see what they do here.
Teams Ultra have been a step ahead in a lot of these scenarios. They do it one more time. They just fly at mid. 3 of them hit mid. Almost catch Cammy. Crim's catches everybody else. Bance and Kleenex drop. Big round here for Crim.
I mean, he's just hoping to buy time, but inside is snuck on through when Crim slid back. And look at Cammy. Inside was trying to hope Cammy can make the play. Hopefully he can play his life. Cammy goes all the way through to the defensive spawn, but that is just all Crim. They switch it up. They go, all right, we're going to 3-hit mid. They've been taking middle of the map away from us. Let's not allow this to continue to happen. Crim is playing for info here. He's hoping for one. If there's a trade, his teammates fly up Eskies to take a, 3-on-2, 3-on-3, whatever they can. But he makes it a lot easier.
That's where we saw him get caught, right? Well, he knows they're not double challenging from Eskies, so a little bit different of a scenario. An incredible individual play from Crim. They were down 5-2. They're within a round. A bit more aggressive from Ultra on the A side. Well, we did see Kleenex cheat up that side earlier, but he's got Bance playing tight with him. So Insight on an island.
They just give this up. They give up the B plant.
Vivid hit to 38. Shotzy's been lurking mid this entire time. I'm going down. Ultra retake. They take the series.
It's time to
Empire take us to around 11.
Watching the full flank, and Bance just goes all the way through back to his defense. Nice nade from Shotzzy. It's into a 4-on-4.
Here goes Cammy. I thought he had the first bullet, but iLLeY gets the headshots. Bance through on the kill feed as well. Now it's Crim's turn. Can he get a double again? He's getting aggressive behind it. There's another player there. Shots into both, but he will drop. It's all on Bance. The movement, though, comes through. Whoa. 5-5, round 11. And I swear, somehow, Joe, it's a Crim Cammy 1v1 with 15 seconds left. I'm buying a lottery ticket.
Did you say Cammy? Was it Cammy? Okay.
I think so. I don't know.
I remember.
Of course it goes to this. After that map 1, I feel we all deserve this. Offense to Ultra. It's been mind games all map long. Who's got the biggest brain?
aBeZy's playing a different spot here, but it looks like Ultra are going to play this kind of slow towards B. Does Bance get anyone to rotate off of that? Doesn't look like it. They're staying strong because aBeZy's here, right? He's saying, I don't see anything outside. What timing does he get? Spots Bance, gets away with his life.
I like it. Don't overstay your welcome. He gets out. Crim would have triple jumped into that gunfight. 45 seconds on the clock. Insight still all the way A side. There's 3 Empire players there. Ultra starting to work B.
Yeah, aBeZy's creeping on up. This is what he did last time. Yeah, that's how he found a first blood. He's not going to see anything on bomb. This might be great timing or horrible timing for aBeZy. I'm not quite sure. It's coming down to the wire.
My God.
They're trying to keep him honest. It's horrible timing.
It's horrible. It's horrible. Cammy gets the first blood. I'm going down. There's a one-on-one in the back. Crim wins it. 3 versus 3. He just wants to fight. Get in my way. Because you're going down to Crim Town. The slides across. The trade's there. 2 versus 2.
aBeZy just hops it. He's on it. He's on it.
It's halfway there. It's halfway there. No one's got the angle. Oh, he does get the angle. Cammy comes through. They get the kills and Ultra take it. Oh my God, I thought Vivid had it. But Cammy gets the shots in. What a series. Woo! That was a fun one.
Just the mind game is back and forth there. I mean, they took their time, didn't they? They got someone antsy. It was aBeZy. aBeZy was trying to find info over towards that site. But Cammy catches him working up the street.
Well, what did you say right before it? Will it be good timing or horrible timing?
Whew. Yeah, it was bad. And there you go. 5 wins in a row for Toronto Ultras. They are back into a winners around 3 into that winners final.
I'll tell you what. Ultra, they got some guts, man. That map 1 win. Closing it out there after losing 3 rounds straight. They clutch up in that round 11, but for Empire, I'll tell you what, they've gotten better. This team was not pushing a team like Ultra that far a couple weeks ago. They weren't.
No, they weren't. I mean, great improvements for them. They win a control. And then in those search and destroys, they look great. I mean, it's just that Moscow search, just all the back and forth plays. They get it to the round 11. They make the adjustments. And that's just all of those long series that Ultra have been in. They trust in one another to make the plays, to make the adjustments, and it comes through. It really does.
Oh, we're gonna check it out again in a moment here. I want to see how close it was because I was like staring at the minimap trying to see on X-ray like when they were gonna get the angle. It had to have been what, 1.5 seconds away? Second. It was close. Vivid almost with the quick hop wins it for Empire, but of course it's Cammy, right? Cammy with the first blood, Cammy with the kill on the bomb carrier, Cammy dropping bombs in the hard points. He's incredible. Let's check out the scuff play of the game. We'll see it one more time. The intense round 11 here between Empire and Ultra. Take me through it, Joe.
Well, it's timing, right? It's information from both teams. You have 2 players at A, 3 from Dallas Empire, but it's this right there. And then you have CleanX. CleanX gets a little greedy here. This makes it into a 3-on-3 and gets the round to a position where they no longer have the advantage.
And then Crim thinks he's Tom Cruise and like MI7.
He's going. He's taking fights. It's just what Crim did this entire series.
Yeah, that is true.
But then the 2-on-2
now.
It's just a diffuse, and Cammy just checks it.
How close? Ooh, it was close. It was close, but Cammy gets the check. Ultra get the win. It might be the best series you see all weekend. Incredible stuff from both teams, but Ultra, they'll stay in the winner's side of things. But that was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it at home. I was having a blast here.
Yeah, I mean, just pretty, for Toronto Ultra, 10 kills from Bance, just a great game 5 from him. Everyone right around even on the other side. It was a couple of sprees from Shotzzy and iLLeY that got them back into that game. Vivid with a tough one, but in a lot of those situations, it was kind of him and Crim defensively trying to hold on, and they just couldn't. You have to give Ultra props. Here's a look at the bracket. Ultra into that winner's final. Empire, they're going to play the winner of Envoy Cellium Mutineers.
I mean, the teams that look to really be improving over the course of the last stage, like Mutineers, Empire, they're still in it. Surge, God, I mean, I picked them actually to go this far, but they've been lights out for the most part. 3-1, 3-0 victory. It's a weird weekend between Seany not being here and the Huke stuff. Like I don't know. It's just been a circus, but there's been like a lot of 3-0s. I'm just glad we got a banger there. That was fun.
Yeah, and obviously, OpTic losing the way they did. I think now you look at that matchup in the losers bracket and say this isn't what we expected at all. So Seattle Surge has some momentum. They got some matches under their belt, and OpTic has to bounce back. But, we got another winners round 2 game coming up with Røkkr and FaZe. Should be a great one.
Yeah, it's just day 2. We got a ton to go. We still have another match tonight, but we're getting ready to head to break. We've got another match upcoming, but before that match starts, we've got Jess with Benjamin Bance the Beautiful. You don't want to miss it.
Thank you so much, Maven. Fortunately, nobody has to miss it. This is the Game Fuel Victory Spotlight here with Bance. I mean, what a crazy series. It came down to the wire. Literally could not have been more close. Talk to me about that final S&D, though. The adrenaline must have been pumping. What were some of the things that you were feeling during that series, or during that last map in particular?
Stress, definitely. But I was confident going into it because it was our pick. I don't think they've played it in a long time. Yeah, to be fair, my calls were quite good. I felt quite confident in every call I was making. To be fair, we could have closed out a lot sooner, but iLLeY obviously 1v2'd. Good play by him. But yeah, it went well.
And then let's talk about that first hard point. I mean, that was an insane comeback. You were almost 100 points down, managed to beat it out 250 to 247. How'd you pull that off?
Well, it's one of our better maps. To be fair, we started quite bad. I think we lost the break, went down like 60 points. But I think that's just natural because it was our first game on LAN, to be fair. And I think we were just a bit antsy. Things were just going a bit wrong. But once we started getting in the groove of things, it was going well for us.
So next up here tonight, of course, we have FaZe versus Røkkr, and then you'll be meeting one of those teams for a little date in the winners finals. Which of these teams would you rather go on a little date with?
To be fair, both teams are really good. You'd probably say Minnesota just because FaZe, for us at the moment, we're struggling to beat FaZe in best of fives. We keep losing last map. But I'm confident either team.
I'm definitely going to be excited to watch that no matter what. It would be nice to see a little Battle of the North, but thank you so much, Bance, for the interview. Back on over to Maven. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't hear the interview, but I'm sure he said something like, Cammy's nasty, our team's nasty, we believe in each other. I am Benjamin Bance. We won. Unbelievable stuff out of Ultra. We've got another match to close out the night. We'll see you after this quick break.
Call of Duty League is presented by T-Mobile, now America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile, the leader in 5G.
Now that is the banger I am talking about. Here we go. Astro Social Soundboard is up, folks. You guys were talking about it too. A huge comeback. I know a lot of people kind of in disbelief of what we just witnessed, but I tell you what, that was one hell of a series. And Toronto just finesse it. I mean, it was very back and forth. It was very impressive on both sides of these teams, to be honest. But the finesse coming from Toronto Ultra, their ability to get themselves out of sticky situations. I'm going to head straight into this analysis right here because map 1, Checkmate, the masterclass from Ultra to take the lead. They managed to hold P1 and P2, which by the way, those are so difficult to hold, and not to mention the fact that they were 4 seconds off losing that game. Empire were literally right there at the cusp. The bounce back from Ultra, the clinic, the masterclass, whatever you want to call it, it was just stunning. And the way that they managed to isolate Crim at the back there by deleting their teammates at the front was just beautiful. I need to hear a full breakdown, like literally second by second. Gents, what are you going to cook up for us with this one?
Yeah, so this hard point was insane for both teams. Obviously, Dallas only needed 4 points to close out